This is the What Rapid Combat Sports Network. And you see the title of Oscar Rivas is going to have a fight in the Bridgeweight division in Montreal, Canada, versus the man Rozicki, right? Just interesting type of thought on the whole thing, right? You obviously see the also Shakur Stevenson, right, versus Herring. I'll just say this real quick, just to go into Shakur Stevenson Herring. That's gonna be a landslide. I mean, let's keep it real, guys. Stevenson got that all day, right? But in regards to this, right, look at this. Check this out, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? Oscar Rivas versus Rozicki, right? Canadian, right? Fight in Canada. Uh, by the way, Oscar Rivas from Colombia resides in Canada too. So it's almost like two hometown guys going at it for the Bridgerweight title. But I mentioned the Bridgerweight title, right? Bridgerweight title in 2020, the WBC announced the establishment of the Bridgerweight title, right? Between of boxers weighing 200 pounds to 224, right? Um, I like it. I like it. It's a great thing that the WBC did this. You know what I'm saying? It's great that they give chances, that they have the divisions separated properly. You can't have a chasm. You cannot have a chasm of weight class that is totally different, right? You cannot have a disparity of 50 pounds if you want to have fighting sport that is classified under commissions, right? I mean, if it's up to me, I like everybody. I'd like weight class to be meaningless, all right? I think it's tonight. Yeah, I think it's tonight. Point is I want to get my pick in before this whole weekend thing going on pound for pound. Knock this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Knock it out. Like I said, I do dig the Bridgerweight class though. I dig this. I dig the weight division. I dig it all as a whole. I dig it that they basically made a weight division for guys 200 pounds to 224. Right? What kind of weird world are we living in when people are mad that they make a weight class that separates these people from 50-pound heavier human beings, right? Some super heavyweights. Yeah, brother, you should call it. Let's call it. We're pound for pound boxing real news is probably gonna call this fight on his channel, guys. Pound for pound boxing real news. I'll probably jump on to pound for pound boxing real news. Subscribe to pound for pound boxing real news. Uh, so as I'm saying, guys, I dig this shit. I dig this fight, man. Oscar Rivas, I'm going 100%. He's gonna run it. He's gonna get this guy. He's gonna take him out, right? Oscar Rivas been in there with Dillian White. He's been in there with heavyweights. Faced Andy Ruiz in the amateurs. This man is a beast. He's built like a tank. He's built like Tank Davis himself, right? But the bigger version, right? Bigger version has power in both hands. Um, I got Oscar Rivas winning this fight. But mainly, I just want to bring in that it's the Bridgerweight, right? I love the weight class. I hate all these people on the internet or a lot of YouTube boxing people. They're right here crying about a weight class um, that's justifiable, that is fits right into the norm. You know, um, how are you gonna have divisions? We'll just say this, right? We'll have the 150, the 147 pounders. How would it be if the 147 pounder was fighting a 168 pounder? Does that shit make any sense? It doesn't make any sense at all, right? So why the hell are you gonna have a big split or chasm from 200 all the way to 275? This division is perfect. This division, this Bridgerweight division, is perfect for stopping that whole chasm in between the heavier weights. As I said, the weight is going to be from 200 to 224. That's the Bridgerweight division. Perfect. Perfect. Matter of fact, for all the flack the man Deontay Wilder gets, instead of fighting super heavyweights, he might as well join this division himself, right? With WBC bout. What's all this other stuff? He's never going to beat Tyson Fury. We might as well get in the Bridgerweight and rule that, right? That's his natural weight, and it's not like he's cheating. That's his weight. He is a Bridgerweight fighter. He's a Bridgerweight boxer. Um, he challenged himself. He can even go with this. He challenged himself to go against Tyson Fury, who was a super heavyweight, with a man who was 50 pounds heavier than him. heavier than himself, right? So, to me, the Bridgerweight has a lot of openings. It has a lot of guys who get in there. Hell, even Usyk, right? Well, maybe he becomes a three division champion, right? He just I don't know if he's having any problems or having any fun being a heavyweight, or he loves eating. He might not be that type that likes eating and staying at that weight, right? Come down Bridgerweight. There could be a lot of fights made at Bridgerweight. Like I said, I love to see a Deontay Wilder versus Usyk at Bridger, both around 220 pounds. Shit would be fire, right? Shit would be bad. I mean, and there's many possibilities of others too, right? In the future, because that's a weight that's a lot of guys are fluctuating in between, and that's why you see a lot of sloppy fat heavyweights. Let's keep that real. You see a lot of sloppy fat heavyweights because they're stuck in the middle, and they say, what I can't, I'm if I weigh 220 pounds and I'm fighting a heavyweight who weighs 250, I might as well move up and eat myself to 230 or something like that, right? Or stay in those weight classes. And what ends up happening with certain bodies, the man's gonna look sloppy and slower, right? So this division is perfect. It makes guys who were always teetering on trying to fight super heavyweights. It gives them that option to, hey, stay at the Bridgerweight. It can't get much better than this, right? And every other fighting sport, they got divisions like this. Yeah, it gives smaller guys, and also the build, the type of build, the skinny guys, or the guys who have just a weird build that they cannot put on weight properly, right? Salute to Mini Mill and Mexican Bots. He's saying Bridgerweight division gives smaller guys to be able to compete fairly. Wilder, Usyk, and other smaller guys. Exactly. Thank you. That's what I was saying right now. Why do I want to see Usyk fight a super heavyweight? Like, literally, the only reason Usyk did well against Joshua is because they picked him. They picked him. That was the perfect fight for him. That was the perfect opponent. That was the perfect mindset at the time for him to take him out, right? I don't see any other heavyweight boxer going in against Usyk and trying to box him, right? You're just gonna see guys trying to maul Usyk in the future, right? And you can take the whole top 5, top 6, right? I mean, Chisora was mauling him, right? Obviously he rectified some of that stuff that was happening. I'm talking about Usyk, but his division is the Bridgerweight. Usyk is not a big man. He's a big man, but he doesn't seem to want to carry the big man load, right? Again, that's what I'm saying. For the health of the athlete, should stay at 224. You know, make the fights at 224. Nothing wrong with that. There's no shame in the game, man. Pride is a lot. It is. That's what I'm saying. Not sure why people are hating on the division. There's science that back the Bridgerweight exactly. There is science. People don't like science anymore. People act like they like science. They don't, right? These same people who claim, yeah, well, I don't care either way, but pound for pound, saying it. If I said that right there, if I made the title this, right, I almost did make the title that the WBC is the greatest of all time. People be tripping, right? Yeah, Wet Rep It hates the Bridgerweight. Pound for pound, boxing real news is hilarious. Yeah, you're right. You got me going, dog. You're funny, bro. Yeah, man. Pound for pound subscribe to Pound for Pound Boxing Real News. The man knows boxing, and the man has a lot of humor too. But like I was saying, there's nothing wrong with the WBC implementing this. I hope the WBA implements it. I hope the IBF implements it. I hope boxing in general takes this and loves it. You know what I'm saying? I hope they take it and enjoy it. The Bridgerweight is a great division. I mean, shit. What you just gonna cry about because Mauricio Suleiman did it? Is that why you're crying about it? Is that why people are crying about it realistically? I think that's what it is, right? I mean, what would happen if it was a different organization? I mean, what would happen if this was an American organization? What would happen if this was, I don't know, we'll say this, right? If it was under a commission that was like the NBA or something like that, people would just eat it up and eat it, right? They'd say, yeah, this is great, right? But I have a feeling since it's something from a commission that's from another country that doesn't bow down to all these tactics of the forced corruption in America, I guess, they hate it, right? They say, bow down to us, WBC, bow down to us. Bow down to us and do like us. That's really why they hate. I think, and you know what? I'm going in. That's probably why they even hate Mauricio Suleiman, right? They say bow down to us, do what we do, be like the NBA commission, bow down to us, be like the NFL commission, bow down to us. We'll do whatever we want. We'll run you over. We're basically not happy until every champion, we cheat our way for every champion to be an American. But that's not the way it is. The WBC is the world boxing organization. It's a world boxing championship belt. It's not USA. It's not only for USA, and it's not only for USA human beings or people born in the USA. It's a world boxing championship belt, guys. You know what I'm saying? This isn't about just let's make it the WC bow down to love us and all this other shit. Nah, man, you can't do that. This isn't the NBA. This isn't football. This isn't MLB where people boycott until all this other shit, guys. It says Algareta says I am mad about it because it destroys the heavyweight history and it was also happened. Yeah, I see that. I see that. But Algareta, I don't mind. Algareta's the real one. Subscribe to Boxing Algareta. I'm a Algarete. I seen his stance on it. His is legit. His is not biased. I'm more attacking the what I would call the American side, the American press, or people who are very biased in towards the American type of standard approach of sports, right? Where they want everything to be with different types of norms, or they want to boycott certain situations. And like I'm saying, you cannot bully the WBC. You cannot bully the WBA. You shouldn't. Guys in this country cannot bully these other organizations because they're world organizations. And I think a lot of Americans have a problem with that. I think a lot of Americans have a problem with not being able to control an organization to the standards of the norms of the American organizations. That's the real thing that's going on here. Also, there's always discontent. I mean, we're always gonna have discontent. I have discontent with the WBC in regards to a lot of things, but sometimes I feel like there's something there's something underlying that's beyond what we would call disagreements for like super belts and all this shit, right? I don't even like the WBA with the super belt. I'm not sure how I feel about the franchise belt. I don't see it being handed out often, but the WBA, right? Those belts were getting me angry. But I respect that the man from the WBA has an organization. It's a world organization, and I'm not right here trying to submit him. You know what I'm saying? In regards to that, as an American or an American peoples, just be like, hey, submit to us, do what we want. Don't worry about anything until you do the norms that we're used to here. We're happy, right? Literally, I think people would be happy with WBC or WBA if every fighter on the roster was an American champion. That's when people would be that's when people would be happy, I think. Exactly. The only reason people are really angry, I hate to say it, the only reason people really trip, they don't say it real, and I'm not talking about the real boxing people. I'm talking about the guys who have like a kind of like a weird little motive going on, right? The only reason they're really tripping about the WBC, the WBA, and specifically those two, right? You never hear people go off about the IBF because it's an American, because it was an American type of organization, right? I mean, it was based in Texas, from what I remember. And by the way, the IBF is the only one that got caught with getting $500,000 payouts from Bob Arum for corruption, right? So I don't understand why everybody goes in on these other organizations. It's weird, right? And I do too. But the point is there's, to me, sometimes I still feel like there's a nefarious reason why people are going on these organizations, right? Because basically every champion in the WBC, every champion in the WBA isn't an American. Hell, well, I'll just say this, right? I saw Algarete, he did a whole video on Uga's situation, right? I think WBA is getting pressure from the PBC, to be honest. I think that's what it really is, and no one's saying anything. And I'll just say it at that, right? Like Stanionis is a PBC guy, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. The Puerto Rican one is trash as well. I can't say that. Like I said, I respect all the organizations, but I just don't like I don't like that. It seems like there's something like obviously a lot of us are Americans, right? But there's something to the point that people just want to run over other organizations without giving them respect, in the sense of having their own sovereignty. By sovereignty meaning they make their own decisions, right? 5'10". Salute to Sergio in the building. So they make their own decisions and they can say whatever they want. That's the whole point. Like, you can't, don't submit these people. Let them do what they want. Yes, you can have this. You can have discussions. You can have other things. You can have hate. Um, you can have disagreements. But why try submitting someone? Yeah, yeah. You're either pro org or anti org. There it is. There it is. Exactly. I'm not pro org, anti org. I'm pro, like, what's the real and the first reason for hating these organizations? That's what I'm looking at. Like, I look at a lot of it. I look at a lot of criticism, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I look at a lot of criticisms. I look at a lot of the criticisms, especially of guys who are American based, or basically don't really care about the Latino market, right? I noticed that's the thing I see. It's more of a thing of that they can't control an organization that's from another country. That's what I see, man. I don't know. And yeah, the corruption, like Algarete saying, the corruption is really bad. That one in Puerto Rico one is considered American. Yeah, yeah, it is, but it's still what it is, though. Algarete, it's still what it is. But yeah, am I the only one seeing this? You guys could tell me in the chat, man. Am I the only one seeing this, that it might be nefarious? Like, I have no issue with people going in on WBC, WBA, any of this shit, right? The whole point is, to me, it seems kind of nefarious. It seems kind of weird, right? It seems like it's another motive. Um, and a lot of people get caught up in attacking, which they should, right? But then there's other guys who are attacking for no damn reason. The WBO, I think is from Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but it's what it is, man. Yeah, that's part of it. The point I was saying is this: it's the sovereignty. It's the fact that the belt is from another country and that they can't. It can't just make it all American, right? Like the NBA for a fact, for specific, right? Imagine if there was dueling organizations and you had pro players from the say you had LeBron James and all these other guys playing on another team or another type of league, right? And there was competing leagues, and it was controlled by another country, but people in this country were still watching it and loving it, right? People would have some type of way, right? So it's just weird, man. I think the whole thing is a power trip. It's a power trip that they don't see everything. Oh yeah, that's the Puerto Rican one. The Puerto Rican one. Yo, you know what's crazy about the WBO? What's crazy about the WBO is it's 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 one of those belts that doesn't get enough respect, in my opinion. I love the WBO belt, man. Why do I love it? Also, because Emmanuel Navarrete has it, so there's that one, right? Um, but in any case, What's that other belt that's coming out that they're trying to push? Pound for pound put me on that belt, man. Pound for pound, actually, H Money put me on that new belt that they're trying to push out. It's based in Florida. I forgot what the belt was called. IB some shit. The one that Maxie Hughes has or parading around, right? They're trying to push that one now. So it's just weird, man. There's so many belts. It's crazy. At least the traditional WBO, WBA, and WBC. Those are the ones that, obviously, I throw the IBF in there too, right? Those are the ones that we all know, man. Yeah, the IBO, bro. The IBO, that's insane. They're trying to push that shit. So it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you hear people talking about wanting to make a pro league or start saying that they want everything under one organization, similar to the UFC, right? Imagine the corruption in that shit, though. Imagine the corruption when it's all under one guy or under one power, and they start making whatever decisions and boosting whatever rankings they want, right? At least what that's the one. Yeah, it's IBO. Yeah, you're right. You're right. At least with all these belts, I'll say this, right? At least with all these belts, it gives people ability to fight the system a little bit. Shit, they're not under a monopoly like the UFC, where the guy can claim he's the best fighter, but literally he might not be the best fighter in the world because they're not letting other guys from organizations go in or they boycott you, right? There's a lot of fighters in Bellator who are fucking mean. They're badasses, right? Pitbull. You got Pitbull, you got the MVP, you got all kinds of guys in Bellator who are freaking animals. You probably beat the shit out of a lot of UFC guys, but they consider the UFC as the top pinnacle, right? Which it has a lot of the best, but it's not necessarily mean that Just because you're the UFC champion, you're the world best at that shit. But again, no one talks about that one either, right? No one talks about that. But to me, like I was saying, I hate to go veering off on tangents or whatever, but like I said, I'm excited for the darn Oscar Rivas fight. I've always liked him. I was rooting for him to beat Dillian White. He knocked down Dillian White, man. So it's crazy, man. So think about what Oscar Rivas was doing. He was fighting. I would consider Dillian White maybe a semi super heavyweight, right? Weighing around 250, 260 sometimes. But the fact that the man Oscar Rivas was doing doing dirty like that, the fact that Oscar Rivas was doing the guy dirty like that, man, it tells you everything, guys. It tells you everything. So a lot of guys say that this guy Rozicki is gonna have a chance. I don't think so, man. I got Oscar Rivas winning pretty damn easy. I got Oscar Rivas whipping some. It says Boxing Algareta says the IBO was respected in the 90s in heavyweight division because it represented. That's on some of the stuff I did see. I saw Lennox Lewis, right? Lennox Lewis had it over his shoulder. I seen they were trying to like put it in all the photo ops, right? They're trying to push the IBO, man. I think at what point do we say wait a minute, we got to stick to the holy grail, as they say, the holy grail. We got to stick to the WBC, we got to stick to the WBA, we got to stick to the IBF and the WBO, and that's it, and we're done with everything. That's it. Right now, it's already the cutoff. That's it. We're done, right? We cannot come with no other new bullshit. It's over with. We just got to roll with what we got here, man. I think that's the limit already. We're already done with the 4 belts already, in my opinion, right? We're already battling as it is, right? We're battling the baby belts. Obviously, we're battling the super belt. The super belts of various forms, right? Obviously, the franchise belts kind of considered a super belt to a lot of people. The regular belts are annoying. I mean, the regular belts were annoying me the hell out, but now I kind of see where the WBA was going with that shit, right? Now that they're trying to cut them off, I kind of see it now. But it's still a baby belt, and the way the PBC was doing it is what it is, man. It's promotion, right? If they really wanted to do something dirty to these organizations, they would just make the PBC championship belt. They would just make the zone championship belt, the top ranked championship belt, and basically have it almost like the UFC in a sense, right? Where the UFC's on the ESPN network. So when they say they have a championship belt, it's the biggest thing ever, right? That's why the UFC belt is the way it is, because it's on ESPN, right? Bellator's out here fighting off on some other weird shit. That's why people don't respect it. If Bellator was on ESPN, and they had the Bellator championship belt, people respect it, right? So literally the corporatism is what gets respect by a lot of people. I'm surprised the PBC never went that route. They just say, let's just make a championship belt and try taking over. Like when they first came out with PBC, it was Premier Championship Boxing, right? So it was they were almost teetering on trying to make a UFC like type boxing organization, right? But now I just love it. I love that it's separated. In any case, guys, it's like I was saying, this guy right here, Oscar Rivas, he's gonna do him dirty. Both from Canada. Obviously, Rivas residing in Canada at the moment. He's like a hometown guy. Also, like I said, the Bridgerweight division, I love it, guys. It's what it is. It's good to me. I don't care. It's what it is. I just know that 200. Just know that vast weight differences from 20 to 50 is too much. You cannot have guys super heavyweights like Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder. That's detrimental to his health, and it basically proved it, right? 3 fights and three beatings he took, right? So that's basically all I want to say about the whole thing. And if you guys didn't watch the video earlier, I caught my Shakur Stevenson prediction. Basically, Shakur Stevenson, easy. Let's cut the crap, guys. Let's cut the crap. Shakur Stevenson, easy. It's not gonna be no thing. It's not gonna be no thing. And by the way, word on the street, right? You probably seen it on various boxing channels. They're not selling nothing. I feel sad about that, but that's what it is. You gotta bring something for the fans to see, man. You gotta bring some hot. You gotta bring some heat. You gotta bring some attack. Shakur needs to change it up, man. What's gonna be sad if he does do this man Herring dirty, or he does him dirty, there's probably not gonna be a lot of guys watching it. because they've already saw the previous shit fest that have happened with Shakur Stevenson. It's just it's sad. It's sad, but that's what happens in boxing. You need to have the ability and you need to have the entertainment value, right? We've never in boxing we never enjoyed guys who don't entertain you. Well, same thing. What's that Boo Boo Andre syndrome, right? Boo Boo Andre syndrome, where the man has skills, but come on, man. If you're not fighting high level opponents and you're not entertaining and you're not doing something on the highlight reel, people forget real quick. They don't care if you're undefeated. They don't care if you're captain, everything. If you're not entertaining, shit's hella crappy, right? It's no one's gonna watch this shit, right? Um, I think subscribe to Boxing Algarete though, guys. He's gonna do the cover. He does it in Spanish, but he knows English. You guys can always go into his chats. Also subscribe to Pound for Pound Boxing Real News. Sergio too. Subscribe to Sergio 510. Subscribe to Mini Mill. I don't know if he has a channel, but he's always in here dropping dimes. He's always in here dropping gems and shit. But for reals, if you guys want to see, I think Pound for Pound Boxing Real News is gonna do a live stream of Oscar Rivas. So subscribe to him too, guys. In any case, I'm out, and like I said, everybody who supports what Rep It, I mess with you, and it's what it is, guys. So on to the next one. Bridgerweight is the shit, guys. I'm out.